Today I thought it would be fun to go back in the archives of my budget spreadsheets and kind of just peek through what I was spending money on, how much money I was making. I'm going to be opening the very first budget template that I ever put together in 2012. My God, you guys, this is gonna be good. Hey guys, it's Justine with Debt Free Millennials, the channel to help you crush your debt and live payment free. I am kind of scared what I'm going to find out in 2012, especially because that's the start of my financial journey. Pretty much. I'm also going to be opening 2015, which was the year that I got married and moved to San Diego from Kansas. And then I'm going to be opening up 2019's budget spreadsheet to see what was life and my spending like pre-pandemic. So cozy up with me, you guys. I have an iced coffee. This is coffee that I made a mi casa with almond milk. It's the toasted hazelnut flavor, so lovely. Let's get into it. I'm going to be opening up the very first spreadsheet. Let's do this. Okay. First of all, it's ugly, right? This is kind of an ugly template, but you gotta start somewhere. All right, the first thing that I see is my take home at that time was $2,081 for the month. That's for the month. And then I had actually budgeted just under that. So let's see, where did I start? I had $100 going into savings, $50 for vacation. At that time I had State Farm insurance. Looks like I had paid it in January. When I lived in on the plaza in Kansas City, my plaza house rent was $300. I'm looking at the actually spent. I'm not sure why I put $450 here because it looks like my rent was $320. Unless, was it really? $378. Oh yeah, that was, January was the month that I moved, so I didn't even know what my rent was, really. Because I was splitting it with roommates, so $378. Crazy town. Let me just look at February. This might be more of what was going on. Electricity was only $12. And that's right, because I was living in an apartment that had gas, like a steam furnace of some sort, and so it was steam heat, so we didn't have to use our electricity for heat at all. Oh man, my cell phone was $36. Groceries I only spent, I budgeted $150. $50 for alcohol. Wow, Justine. Restaurants were $70 per month. Could you imagine? $70 per month. That's not even 20 bucks a week. Wow. Oh, whoa. Okay, gas. I budgeted $165. Looks like I had some prescriptions for $12, and then looks like I took out some money. And blow money. Yes, blow money was like the money that I could use for whatever, whenever, whatever I wanted. I have no clue what I spent $214 on in February of 2012. It better be good. I wished I would have had like little comments here to say what I spent money on. Okay, now here's the good part, because in 2012, I was working in my debt-free journey, right? So I had a loan directly from my university. I was paying $300 on. The Department of Education loans are my federal loans, $261.34. Sallie Mae, $51.53. I specifically remember that being the minimum. And you're gonna see this black line. So I actually had a family member loan me money for when I was studying abroad in Australia, and I've chosen to keep that family member anonymous. So anyway, I owed them money and I was paying them $50 increments. Let me make sure, yeah. So this is just kind of crazy. Oh my gosh, okay. And then in March of 2012, I started paying for Netflix for $7.99. Paid H&R Block to do my taxes, 90 bucks. That's a rip. That is a rip off for sure. How did I know about that? Because that's expensive even today. And we're in 2022. Oh man, this is awesome. My take home was small, but so were my bills, so were my expenses, except for the debt, right? Like I was still going crazy on the debt. And the reason why I don't have anything here for my family members, because I remember I was thinking any money that I had left over, I would try to put as much towards that smallest debt as possible. And I ended up paying off that debt very, very quickly. Okay, let's look at 2015. This was the year that I got married. So I was living in Kansas at the time. My rent was $415. Really? Okay. Yep. 415. That's right. I was like, why is it 415? Because I think my rent total was 750. So Kyle and I were living together at this time, not married. That's fine. And I remember I spent more on the rent because he spent more on other stuff. Like we split it up that way where he took care of more like groceries and eating out and stuff like that. So that's why my restaurants was only 50. Groceries was 211. Actually, I'm not sure how we split it up, but somehow we did. Somehow we did. Oh my gosh. And then I added some more stuff. Vitamins. Okay. Renter's insurance, car insurance. Oh man. Oh yeah. When I had to park on campus, I had to budget for a parking permit. Liquor. Therapy. This was the year I started therapy. Oh, and here you go. Okay, so I became debt-free in 2014, so you'll see the debt is not even on this spreadsheet. I didn't have any debt anymore, still don't. And so instead of paying all that money towards the debt, I started putting money aside for our wedding, and we paid cash for our wedding. So wow, $950 a month was going towards the wedding, $200 towards retirement, $50 for the emergency fund. I was thinking about a new house already. We weren't even married yet. And at that time, my monthly take-home was $2,670. So I had increased it by what, like $500, $600 per month over the course of 3 years. Okay. So in 2015 is when we got married, and then we started combining our income. Let's see, here we go, in June of 2015. So all of a sudden, my income goes from, what's that, $2,700 to $8,200. Yes, Kyle brought in a lot of money. We were living very cheaply in Manhattan, Kansas too. And so you'll see our rent was $700 a month, and these were all of our expenses. $54 for electricity, Netflix was $13, internet was $67. I barely spent money on groceries. I budgeted $300 a month on groceries, and we had kind of all these extra things. And so it's just kind of funny to see all of this. Whoa, looks like we paid some mega taxes too. $27.63. So we must have owed that year. We owe a lot of years. This is so awesome to see. And you know what's kind of sad-ish is that we were making this amount of money in Kansas, and then later that year we ended up moving to San Diego and our expenses tripled. So let's hop over to 2019 now that we were like 4 years into living in San Diego, and this is what the budget looks like in 2019. So you'll see actually we brought in close to what we brought in from 2015. So 4 years later our income had stayed the same or decreased, and that was because I was starting my business, I was working for myself, and gosh, Kyle's income was pretty much the same, right? Maybe less than. I wasn't paying myself as much, that's why. It was me. Yeah. Our rent went to $27.55. $700 a month in Kansas, $27.55 in San Diego. And everything pretty much went up. I guess internet and electricity and all that, like Netflix, pretty much stays the same. Groceries is up. Wow. This is interesting to see. Shopping, I went crazy in January, $500. Going to a vacation to Virginia that year, that month. Wow, in March of 2019, we only brought in $6,000. That is crazy. And looks like we did a lot of trips. How were we doing this? Sometimes I'm like, what were we thinking? $84.97 was our take home. Then we start making more money towards the end of the year. Looks like we've got some months where we made over $9,000. Holy moly. October was a big income month for us. So yeah, it looks like by end of 2019, we really started to see our income go up. And that kind of makes sense for me because my business was growing. I was making more money. And in 2020, honestly, 2020 was my record year. And 2021 was also a really good year for us too. But God, it's so interesting to see how much our finances have changed from 2012 to the year that we got married to living a few years in San Diego and until now. It's just like, it's pretty crazy to see how your expenses has changed based on your lifestyle. And if you're wondering, yeah, Justine, but like, what about your budget now? You can check out my beers and budgeting episodes. I will leave a link to the playlist up here in the cards for you to check out, and you can see what my budget looks like now. And it's going to look drastically different because we're making a lot more income. We also have a baby, and with inflation, everything has just gotten more expensive. So to know, literally 10 years ago, I was bringing in just over $2,000, and now our take home is sometimes 5 to 6 times as much. Is just really crazy. That's really cool. I hope you enjoyed this little like blast from the past of looking through my budgets. Also, didn't even mention this. If you want this budget spreadsheet that I'm currently using, you can grab it for free using the budget toolkit link listed below in the description. This is a free tool for you to use. You can follow along. I have budget tutorials that you can check out here on YouTube to help you get your budget template set up. This thing is amazing and it's free. So go ahead and check it out. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.